Hello, this is News Plus on Viewer Television. My name is Deborah Njukaife. And now the National Information Technology Development Agency NITDA has opened the online application for a networking event in Japan. NITDA, while declaring the application earlier today on X app, formerly Twitter, said it is for an eligible and successful clean tech startup. Japan International Cooperation Agency (JICA) Nigeria and the National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA) through the Office of Nigeria Digital Innovation are organizing a one-week networking visit to Japan for eligible and successful clean tech startup. NITDA wrote, the agency also said the deadline for applications is 31st October 2023. Meanwhile, it has said that it is committed to implementing the National Digital Economy Policy for Digital Nigeria. The mandate is to create a framework for the planning, research, development, standardization, application, coordination, monitoring, evaluation, and regulation of information technology practices in Nigeria, NITDA said. And now the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, says a combat-ready Nigerian army requires effective training using emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotic, genome sequencing, and other software applications. Lagbaja, who also was represented by the Chief of Special Services and Programs, Major General Henry Wesley, said this at the opening of the simulation workshop of the Land Forces Simulation Center, Nigeria, earlier today in Abuja. The workshop was titled Effective Use of Simulation Technology to Enhance Nigeria Army Operation in a Joint Environment. He said the theme reflected his command philosophy for the Nigerian Army, which is to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment. Simulation training, which involves the application of these technologies, is thus a contemporary essential enabler for preparing Nigerian Army personnel for current and future operational challenges. The All Progressives Congress says it plans to challenge yesterday's disqualification of its Bayelsa's governorship candidate, Chief Timpere Silva, from November 11 poll. Mr. Perry Tukwe, the Director of Media and Publicity, APC Bayelsa Gubernatorial Campaign Council, said this in a statement on Tuesday in Yenagwa. The party has briefed its lawyers to appeal the judgment, and it's confident that the Court of Appeal will overturn the judgment of the Federal High Court. Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court, Abuja, in a judgment delivered on Monday, disqualified Sylvia from featuring in the November 11 governorship election. Okorowo ruled that Sylvia having been sworn in twice and ruled for 5 years as governor of Bayelsa State, would breach the 1999 constitution as amended if allowed to contest again. The Special Military Task Force Operation Safe Haven, maintaining peace in Plateau and parts of Kaduna and Bauchi states, have arrested 13 suspects over alleged kidnapping, banditry, rustling, and other criminal offenses. Captain James Oya, the media officer for OPSH, in a statement today in Jos, said that the troops also recovered 279 rustled cows and arms and ammunitions. Oya explained that OPSH recorded that the breakthrough in an operation it conducted between October 2nd and October 9th, adding that the suspects were arrested in some communities within its areas of responsibility. And the fight against cancer, especially in the area of prevention and treating, may be far from being won due to the challenge of access to diagnostic services by many Nigerians, especially those in the southeast region. Now, notwithstanding, cancer accounts for the death rate of 78,000 people yearly in Nigeria. Meanwhile, public hospitals in the southeast geopolitical zone currently cannot boast of a magnetic resonance imaging (MRI) machine for the detection of the disease. Sources stated that the 5 states of the southeast region may account for about 13%, 10,000 of the yearly death rate from cancer, which oncologists confirmed recently to be on the rise due to a variety of factors, including lifestyle, consumption of processed foods, diets, smoking, alcohol intakes, and consumption of multiple starchy foods. Investigations, however, revealed recent efforts in refurbishing and equipping University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital Enugu as focal cancer care center for the region. We'll be going on a quick break, and when we come back, News Plus continues. Stay with us.
The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has dismissed an application filed by the Independent National Election
Viewer Television, now airing in FCT Abuja, Adamawa,
From Bauchi, following the order of
Youths in Bauchi under the
Boji, Boronu, Gombe, Plateau, Taraba. Viewer TV, news from a vantage point.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) has listed Zamfara, Cross River, Adamawa, and Ogun as states with the highest cholera cases in the country. NCDC's Incident Manager, Cholera Technical Working Group, Dr. Sebastian Yenan, said this at the monthly meeting of the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Wash in Emergency Working Group today in Abuja. According to him, the cases are updates from the center's epidemiology week 39, saying efforts were ongoing in providing response commodities to affected states and in the country. Mr. Yenan said NCDC's intervention through cholera cases management was carried out in partnership with the WHO by distributing infection prevention and control kits, wash kits, chlorine powder, amongst others. This intervention, he noted, was being prioritized in the 4 states, saying the kits distributed could be also used in emergency situations like the Lassa fever and diphtheria outbreak. The NCDC has partnered with a third-party logistics company in the distribution of commodities and also to bring samples. Our cholera response is at the 36 states and the FCT. Worried by the level of non-inclusion in governance for persons with disabilities in governance and policy making in Nigeria, a non-governmental organization, TAF Africa, is creating massive awareness across the Nigerian state. The NGO is calling on the government to create a level ground in political participation, especially a room for the physically challenged.
Want to initiate a policy or you want to implement a policy, it will be good when you have people that are actually, the primary beneficiary of such policy. The kind of input you get from them, the kind of support you get from them in ensuring the implementation of such policy is very key. So as it is now in Nigeria, the disability community are not really carried along, and we have made frantic efforts in reaching out to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria through an open letter, demanding or advocating for the appointment of persons with disability as ministers.
Well, one of the even reasons that prompts Start Africa to come to Kaduna is as a result of the Kaduna State Disability Law. And like I said, one of our major problems is having a law, but implementation is another thing. That is why TAF are here to put hands together to make sure that the law is properly implemented. Because all what there is, issue of inclusion, issue of participation, issue of accessibility, it is entails in Kaduna State Disability Law. And I'm sure once that bill is properly implemented, it will adequately take care of all what they have raised. So I think that is the essence of even them coming to Kaduna to see that how we can put hands together to implement Kaduna State Disability Law.
The awareness campaign is set to cut across the 36 states of Nigeria as well as the Federal Capital Territory for the promotion of equity, justice and fairness as the concern of every Nigerian citizen remains a priority. The Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ Plateau State chapter has congratulated the executive governor of Plateau State on his election to lead the people of the state. The new NUJ executive, through the newly elected chairman, says the election of the governor was divine and promised to give their support to the Muftuang's administration. The report.
Josephine Pio received the new NUJ officials in her office on behalf of Plateau State Governor.
Our visit is to first of all congratulate you on your election as the Executive Governor of Plateau State and for your victory at the tribunal. We're not in doubt that your election is divine to uplift Plateau and build on the foundation laid by your predecessors. We are also here to officially thank you for appointing some of our members to serve in your administration as you strive to turn around the fortunes of the state for the better. Last month, the NUJ conducted its election, which saw the emergence of the current leadership. We're here to appreciate the support of governments to the union and to introduce the officials that will run the affairs of the union for the next 3 years. We want to assure you of the commitment and determination of members of the Fourth Estate of the realm in partnering with you to fully harness the potentials of Plateau, blessed with abundant natural and human resources.
The NUJ chairman used the medium to present the case for NUJ Plateau State and journalists working in the state.
We have an ongoing project, the NUJ House at the Press Center. It is one-story building with a 500-seater capacity hall and offices for lease. We recall that when you paid a visit to the Press Center during the electioneering campaign, you promised to assist us deal with some of our needs. We therefore plead that as your administration settles down, kindly consider the NUJ project, which is dear to us and will be a source of revenue for the council. We also wish to appeal to you to consider a monthly stipend for the union to help us pick our bills and also address some of the welfare issues of our members.
The deputy governor commended the election of the first female NUJ chairman in Plateau State and promised to follow up their request to the governor.
And I want to assure you that you are coming here today for me to represent the governor is not by mistake, it's not a mistake, because God has ordained that me as a mother on the plateau, that I should be the first to welcome the first female NUJ chairman. And I'm telling you that I was so excited when I heard about your election. And I want to, as if NUJ is gender sensitive, and we want to assure you that by the grace of God, His Excellency the Governor of Plateau State will surely partner with NUJ to make sure that you also have a very conducive atmosphere to work, and also for us to also deliver well to the people of Plateau State.
The Deputy Governor offered a special prayer for the NUJ chairman. This courtesy visit by the new NUJ officials hopes to strengthen the bond of relationship between Plateau State government and the media. Nasser Seidu, VOA TV News, Jos.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has issued a weather forecast indicating the likelihood of dust haze and thunderstorms from across the nation from the early part of this week. In its weather outlook report obtained yesterday, the agency predicted dust haze with a visibility range of 1 kilometer to 3 kilometer and localized visibility of less than or equal to 1,000 meter was anticipated over the northern region on Monday. Similarly, localized visibility of less than or equal to 1,000 meter is anticipated in some areas. Thunderstorms are also expected later in the day, particularly in parts of Taraba State. In the north central states, visibility values are expected to range between 2 km to 5 km due to suspended dust, with thunderstorms predicted in various regions, including the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, Niger, Kogi, Kwara, Plateau, and Benue State in this afternoon and evening. In the southern states, thunderstorms are expected in the morning hours. And the Borno State Police Command, in its fight against crime and criminality, has arrested over 500 suspects and convicted 250 criminals in the last 3 months. The command made this known while addressing journalists in Maiduguri. The report.
In the last 3 months, the police command says it's made progress in tackling insecurity in Borno State. Between the month of July and September, it had 537 suspects under its custody for 339 offenses. The command also informed that 30 were nabbed for sexual gender-based violence, 46 for theft, while 5 were picked up for kidnapping. The command also noted that it has a total of 135 cases, with 79 cases in court and 14 awaiting trial. The Commissioner of Police, Yusufu Lawan, attributed its successes to the assent granted by the state government to its Penal Code Law 2023,
which was recently assented by His Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, as part of the overall objective of restoration of peace in the state for sustainable growth and development.
However, the command is currently investigating a recent case of rape, culpable homicide, criminal conspiracy and robbery, where 9 suspects have been arrested.
One Umar Boni Abubakar, male, 25 years, of Waterboard IDP camp, Mogunu, stabbed one Zarani Modu, male, 35 years, of the same address with a sharp object. As a result, the victim sustained fatal injury. The genesis was that on the 15th of September 2023, he sighted the deceased standing with his wife.
The police command, while assuring that it will not relent in keeping the state safe from criminals, also says it expects the public to be security conscious and report useful information that will boost security in Borno State to the police. Bitrus Kuruti, VOA Television News, Maiduguri.
And now on international, Israel kept up its deadly bombardment of Hamas-controlled Gaza today after the Palestinian militant group threatened to execute some of the around 150 hostages it abducted in a weekend assault if airstrikes continue without warning. Israel already imposed a total siege on the Gaza Strip today, cutting off food, water and electricity supplies and sparking fears of an already dire humanitarian situation will swiftly deteriorate. Israel has been left reeling by Hamas' unprecedented ground air and sea assaults, likening it to the September 11, 2001 attacks on the United States. The death toll rose to more than 900 in Israel, which has retaliated with a withering barrage of strikes on Gaza, raising the death toll to their 687. Meanwhile, the Israeli army disclosed today that it had more or less restored control over the Gaza border after Saturday's mass breach by Palestinian gunmen. It said it had recovered the bodies of around 1,500 Hamas militants inside Israel, confirming the scale of Saturday's assaults. And the United States has confirmed the death of 9 United States citizens in the war between Israel and Hamas, with more unaccounted for amid fears they were taken captive. It also noted that there are unaccounted for U.S. citizens and that it is working with its Israeli partners to determine their whereabouts. Washington has not yet confirmed if Americans are among the hostages taken by the Palestinian militant group Hamas in its surprise assault on Israel. Dozens of foreigners have been killed in the violence, including victims from Thailand, Nepal, Ukraine, France, Britain, Canada, and Cambodia. At least 700 people have been killed on the Israeli side, the majority slain by militants who entered Israel from Gaza by land, air, and sea, while 560 people have been killed in the Gaza Strip as Israel pounds Hamas targets. Rescue have been made digging since yesterday for families still trapped in the rubble of their ruined homes 2 days after a series of earthquakes that killed more than 2,000 people in rural western Afghanistan. People are trying to search and get their family out of debris. Disaster Management Ministry spokesman Mullah Jenan Sayek told a news conference in the capital, saying reports from the field described a very bad situation. Volunteers in truck packed with food, tents and blankets flocked to hard-to-reach areas 30 kilometers, 19 miles northwest of Herat city, capital of the same-named province, hit by a magnitude 6.3 quake Saturday and 8 powerful aftershocks. They also brought shovels to help dig through the rubble of flattened villages as hope dwindled that anyone may still be buried alive. Now, many people have come from far-flung districts to get people out from the rubble, said Khalid, 32, at Kashak in Zendaz Jan district. At least 27 people have been killed after heavy rains caused a section of a hillside covered in precariously built houses to collapse in Cameroon's capital, Yaoundé. Rescuers were still searching for victims on Monday after the landslide happened in the district of Bankolo, northwest of Yaoundé, on Saturday evening. Landslides are frequent during the rainy season in the city of nearly 3 million people, where shacks are often put up on its many hills. Torrential rainfall caused a dam containing a man-made lake situated on higher ground to burst, according to public broadcaster CRTV and a local official. Paul Atanga Inji, Minister of Territorial Administration, said at the site that the death toll had risen to 27 after rescuers earlier announced 23 had died. Now, 2 top aides to Ugandan opposition leader Bobi Wine were among several people arrested during a raid on an event marking the country's Independence Day yesterday, his party said. The action came just days after Wine, who unsuccessfully challenged President Yoweri Museveni in 2021 elections, declared he was under house arrest after being seized by security agents on his return from a trip abroad last week. The NUP said its Secretary General David Lewis and spokesman Joel were attempting to address journalists at the party's office when around 15 soldiers bundled them into a type of unmarked minivan known in Uganda as a drone. The opposition meeting was intended to commemorate the 61st anniversary of Uganda's independence from Britain. The NUP said the pair were taken to a nearby police station, while Wine said 2 evangelical pastors who had planned to lead prayers were also arrested. And that's all on News Plus. Many thanks for watching. My name is Deborah Ndakaife. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.